Hey, welcome back to the Car Doctor channel. I'm Tim. I'm here at my repair shop in Donor Auto in Anchorage, Alaska, and I'm back from a little bit of vacation, a little bit of sun and raccoon eyes, and a little bit of fishing and relaxing. It feels good. It's good for the heart. It's good to take off and vegetate for a while and get out of the shop, breathe in some fresh air, exhale all the exhaust vapors. I'm a new man. My brain is just refreshed. It's sweet. So anyway, just wanted to, actually I started making a video yesterday and it was a total fail. I'm not even gonna publish it. I started out and it was, you know, it was a sweet diagnostic deal. And anyway, I choked and I'm not, it's embarrassing. I just haven't got back in the swing of things, but that guy, anyway, we're gonna fix them up, but that video is never, it's just gone in the trash. You're never gonna see it, but maybe I'll tell you about it sometime. Anyway, this one is a Pathfinder that came in with hard starting when warm, pretty straightforward deal, you know, blowing out black smoke and rough running condition when on a hot soak start, like a restart after, you know, an hour or whatnot. Starts up normally the next morning. Had a lot of soot in the exhaust, check engine light illuminated, had some, had a misfire code, #1 cylinder actually, and also had an O2 code, a downstream code, but that's a separate issue. But in this case, this has that 3.5 motor. Let's see, this is a, oh, what year is this? This is an O2 Pathfinder. It's a 4x. It's got the 3.5 motor. It's a dual overhead cam engine and multi-port injector, of course. And anyway, I've got down. You have to pull the plenum and upper and lower, well, the plenum. And then I got to the injector rail. I've popped it up, and I'm going to have Tanya come energize the fuel pressure, and we're just going to double check and see if indeed it is the #1 injector, and if any of the other ones are leaking. This is a common deal where 1 or 2 injectors are going to start leaking on these. Yes, if that's the case, it's probably good to do them all, but this thing has so many issues, I'm not sure we're going to be able to sell that. We're having to do those resonator pipes on both sides. It's got some oil leaks, so we're going to do the valve covers while we're here, but I kind of doubt I'm going to be selling all 6 injectors, to be honest, but we'll see what's going on here. I'm just going to energize the fuel pressure and check and see if we get any leakage. Okay, I've just got the injector rail up enough so I can see the end of the injector nozzles and just check for leakage. This is the #1 I'm suspicious of here. All right, go ahead and turn the key on. Don't crank it though. Oh, there we go. Huh. Okay, key on. Oh boy. Okay, turn it off. That was not what I expected. Injector's dry, but we got some issues with our fuel pressure regulator. Okay, one more time. Oh, okay. All right, that's good. You turn it off? Okay, well, here we go. This is actually called a fuel damper assembly, and the diaphragm in it is leaking. And I believe they call this a fuel pressure regulator here. This dampens the pulse of the injection system. And after a little research, I see where this also can fail and cause an excessive noise from the engine. So common failure point there, I guess. Yeah, I wish I'd have caught that before. I'm still gonna check this injector after we replace this dampener and pressurize the system again. But this is definitely an issue. So if you're having problems with a hot soak restart issue, rich mixture, maybe a PO300, PO301 or whatnot, take a look at your vacuum line to your damper. If you're getting a excessive engine compartment noise, listen to see if it's coming from the fuel rail. That's something we're looking into. Also, you know, these hot soak restart issues, don't overlook the possibility of a crank sensor on these causing that issue as well. That's a common problem. But all right, I think we're gonna have a success story here. This video might be worth publishing. We'll see how it turns out. All right, well, it's not hard to see why we ended up with a number one misfire. Regardless, the valve cover gaskets were leaking profusely, and I needed to pull the upper intake to access those. So inspecting the injectors was a good next step. But this all could be repaired or diagnosed without pulling the intake. The fuel damper on the pressure side here is fully accessible without pulling the intake. But so there's the vacuum port on this upper plenum where that damper and fuel pressure regulator receives vacuum, and then that port runs directly into the number one intake runner. So subsequently dumping fuel into the number one cylinder during a hot soak scenario. So or all the time actually. It was really gushing. So it's no wonder that issue. So yeah, you know, for future reference, so if you're getting that number one misfire, a hot soak issue, pull that vacuum line off that diaphragm on the damper side. The other one, I would consider the other one on the return side to be the actual fuel pressure regulator. I think they call them both dampers. But I did find this locally. This should be a decent quality damper assembly. And the dealer supplied part wasn't available. Nothing wrong with going that route as well, but it's fully accessible external pulling the intake, like I said, so I don't really have any heartburn installing an aftermarket part and just making sure it works right. So should be a pretty quick fix here. Basically accessed by removing the two attaching bolts on the diaphragm side with an O-ring there, and then the fuel line here. The fuel line, 14 millimeter line wrench. You know, I said I would upload some videos from my fishing adventures. I did not. I do have some video footage. I'll share with you later here when I go through things, but I just decided to vegetate for a month or so, and it was good. Very good. It's good to clear the mind. And I told myself, boy, it's going to take at least 2 weeks to get frustrated and have the city life get to me. Well, it took about a day. There we go. I would love to live in a more remote place, but I just haven't been able to figure out how to afford doing that. So for now, I'm a city boy. Actually looked at some property down where we fish this summer. Man, it would be fun. Let's see if we can make that work someday. I'm gonna have to tighten that once I bolt things down and get the fuel rail back in, but I want to make sure and double check for injector leakage after I get this part squared away. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and pressurize this and watch it for a while, but I think that's pretty straightforward what we got done here. We got things cured. So I'm going to replace the spark plugs, valve cover gaskets, change the oil. This thing's pumped full of fuel, I'm pretty sure. So we'll clean that all out and call it good. But hey, thanks for hanging in there with me. Appreciate you watching my channel. Hope this video is helpful. If it is, please subscribe to our channel and mail us a 6-pack of beer. We'd appreciate it. All right, have a good one. Take care.